Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what this chord is. 'Cause I know we all know what this chord is. Laid down by Ratt. It's D major, right? Anyway, I'll just get to the point. I think this is basically a B flat major first inversion. And I'll get to my thinking, everything. You guys can fight me in the comments or whatever. But the reason why this is top of mind, I've kind of been listening to a bunch of Ratt because I'm getting into like Warren DeMartini as far as just like 80s rock guitar stuff. Oh my God, the guy's he's amazing, so good. So I've kind of been going through somewhat of a Rattazance, if you will, and so I was listening to some interview of a guy, nice guy, podcaster, and he called this an augmented ninth. And when he said that, like, I froze, my brain short-circuited, I couldn't function. And then not only did he call it that, he said when he was hanging out with Warren, he got to tell him, it's so cool that you played an augmented ninth chord in the intro to Lay It Down. And Warren was like, oh, I never knew what that chord was called. Thank you for teaching me. And so I'm like, not only is that not the name of the chord, but you taught him the wrong, you taught Warren the wrong thing. so then I started thinking, well, I don't know what I would call this chord, right? I learned this in like 6th grade from, you guys remember this song? Pull Me Under a Dream Theater. I haven't looked into this a whole lot, but this sounds like a chord that's probably in like 600 Queensryche songs also. Somebody will have to look into that. I don't have that information here. But anyway, so I think I know where he got to the name augmented ninth chord. Just indulge myself for a second. So augmented means you raise the fifth of a chord, right? Which pretty good case for that being augmented, right? Diminished, you lower it, right? So I think a diminished chord is like the Western bar fight chord. You know, the bad guys are coming in. And augmented is like, it's like it was all a dream from a TV show kind of sound. So it's the raised fifth. And, you know, this chord, so like if I'm in D, so 5th fret, 7th fret, 9th fret, that's a ninth, or it's more like an add ninth. Because in jazz, you would say a ninth chord implies a flat 7. And so an augmented ninth is kind of more like that, right? Like that. That is not the harmony that he's going after on Lay It Down. But I think that's how he got to that naming. Is like, okay, so I call that a ninth chord, and if I augment it, that means raise it, and so if both of these slide up, now it's a augmented ninth. But look at the notes. It's a D, B flat, and an F. That's a B flat triad, you know. Or sorry, and then drop D. That's a B flat triad. So what's actually happening in the song is it's that's the chords, right? So it's 1. The B flat functions as like a flat 6, flat 7, 1, like a major 1. Not to be confused with the Eye of the Tiger song, which is like, it's the same chord kind of thing, except the first one's minor. So that if the first chord's minor, that's more like 6, 5, 4. Right? That kind of thing. But when this is major, it's way cooler. So kudos to you, Ratt, because that's way better. And then it's kind of like the chords are moving in thirds, right? So what it means if you improvise over it, you play D major, or whatever you want to do with the seventh. Could be major or flat seven. But then when you hit that chord, you switch to minor. Right? I always love changes like that. It's super cool. Okay, anyway. So that's just a try it. It's a first inversion. This is the real lesson of this song is why chord inversions and voicings are amazing and powerful when you use them correctly. That's the lesson, right? Because if that song had started it doesn't have the same effect, right? But it all of a sudden is like super amazing when you add that tension. You're just sliding that up 2 frets, going to the C major. And so that's the real lesson is voice leading, using inversions is powerful. And yeah, so just that shape kind of is a pain, but I normally play that first inversion like this. So like ring finger on the D, I'd play the B flat with my first finger on the G string and then the F with the pinky. Maybe not if I'm playing the intro to that song, but this is a really useful shape to know. It's basically a G major chord, right? Well, I'm gonna drop D, but should play that chord. That's an awesome chord. Okay, yeah, that's it. So don't call this an augmented ninth because it's not. It's more like it's closer to shifting it the other way, like a flat six and a minor third. But anyway, yeah. So maybe you learned something, or maybe I just confused you a little bit. Both aren't bad because if you have to think more, then you'll think more. All right, cheers.